Assalamualaikum everyone. Hope you are doing very well at your home. Stay home, stay safe. Okay, so let's start. Today we are going to discuss about characteristics and the evolution of computers. So in this topic, our first heading is early calculating devices, next evolution of computers, and then characteristics of computers. So this is all about the topic. Now discussing about early calculating devices. Those devices are also called as our first computer, the base of the computer. Early calculating devices. The first early calculating devices, first is abacus. Abacus was probably the first calculating device. It has beads sliding on the wires. It is the wooden frame, and it is used to perform the simple calculation like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and the division. This is just simple. And the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, and these functions just for 2-3 digits, not more than 2 to 3 digits. But this was the base of the computer. And nowadays, it is also used in many countries like Asia and Africa. In the primary classes, the pre-classes, the teachers use this device for giving the concept of addition, subtraction, and the multiplication. And after that, it's Napier boards. The person, Sir John Napier, in 1616 made a calculating device known as Napier's boards. This device basically called Napier's board on his name. It has some numbers carved on the wooden frame. It is also used for subtraction, addition, simple calculation, but from this we can also find the square root of number. Then it's time for Pascal. Blaise Pascal in 1641 invent a mechanical calculator that's called Passline. It's also on the name of its inventor. It is a rectangular box, movable wheels. I want to show you the picture also. We are showing that there's some wheels. In the wheels there are some wooden strips, and these wheels are also moving. On which number you want to move that strip arrow, just move it. It was a movable wheels. It was also used as multiplying, dividing numbers, but now it's used hundreds and thousands of numbers. Before that, all these devices just using simple 2 to 3 numbers, not reached at 100, but now Passline reached at hundreds and thousands of numbers. Then there be in 19th century, the person Charles Babbage invented a machine called difference engine to prepare the mathematical tables. And also Charles Babbage invented another machine which is known as Passline engine. It's an analytical engine. It is the father of basically modern computer because that machine has also input machine. It also attached with some memory devices. So that was the base of modern computer, because modern computers also contain some input devices, some output devices, and some memory devices. Then moving towards evaluation of computer. Computers are classified into different generations based on the technology used. We have From 1942 to 1958, those computers are used at that time. They're called first generation computer. From 1959 to 1964, it became the second generation computer. These generations are classified on the basis of the technology used. What the technology used, we will discuss in the next slides. In 1964 to 1970, that was the third generation computers. From 1971 to present, this fourth generation computer. But in 1989, there was become some more technologies used, and the fifth generation computer. And these are also used in the future. Maybe in future, some different technology is used. Then there are also some more generations, 6th, 7th, and 8th. So there it's according to the technology used on those computers. If we discuss about the first generation computer used the vacuum tubes at large in size, with small internal storage, and these are very expensive. So input was based on the punch card and the paper type. Some examples: Mark 1, these are some examples of first generation computers. The limitations was that its speed was very slow. It's quite slow. The power consumption was very high. It needs a lot of area for its installation process. And potential to be programmed for the task was quite limited. We have some limited tasks we have done on that computer. So that was about first generation computers. Yes, one another limitation was that only one problem solved at a time. There was a big, distortion, because these days we have a lot of problems, we have a lot of tasks we are doing at a time in our computers, and also they are very expensive. They need a lot of money to build that first generation computers, and they also need a big area for that computers. Then if we talk about second generation computer, then might some changes, which is basic changes. That first generation computer, they use vacuum tubes. They're large in size, but now they use transistors. They were much smaller, but faster and cheaper, and more efficient than the first generation computer. They contain all the components that is associated with the modern computers today. Means they have the capacity, they have the printer, storage capacity, disks, storage capacity, operating system. So these all are the things that are also in our modern computers. They relied on punch cards for the inputs. And on the first generation computer, they relied on punch cards for the input, but also on paper type. Next, in second generation computer, they use programming language, which are COBOL and Fortran, came into use, the very first languages of computer. Then moving towards the third generation computers. Now, in the third generation computer, they use ICs. ICs means integrated circuits. These are also known as chips. For the very first time, these are smaller in size, but they have more capacity to store. They have more capacity to do a lot of tasks at a time. Now, in the third generation, there are keyboards and the monitors and the keyboards for the input and monitors to display output. So they enhanced the storage capacity. They enhanced to doing the task at the same time. Now they allowed to run different tasks at a time. And one more thing, that is they're more cheaper. They are basically affordable. Then moving towards the fourth generation computer in 1971 to present. In the fourth generation computers, the microprocessors are used. Firstly, vacuum tubes, then chips. From vacuum tubes to ICs or chips, and then microprocessors. There are a lot of technology difference. How they are enhancing. Firstly was very big, then moving towards small in size, then small in size, and then very small in size. But their capacities are absolutely different. They have more capacities of storage. They have more capability of doing tasks at a time. So use microprocessor, a type of very large scale integrated circuits, VLSIC, which contain all the components of a CPU on a single chip. Microprocessor, it's a very large scale integrated circuit. This has a small chip, but it contains all the components of CPU. This performs the bulk of processing and control all the parts of system, brain of a computer. The use of microprocessor result in decreased size and increased efficiency. It has much computing power, it has much storage capacity. Computing power means to doing a lot of tasks at a time, and these are also used in the next generations. Used improved storage devices that are cheaper than the earlier ones, that can be linked to another networks, that can be linked together. They can share storage, capacity, space, data. Apple Macintosh and IBM PCs are the example of these. In addition to their desktop or the personal computers, nowadays laptops, smartphones and tablets, which are also the examples, which are easy to use. Till fourth generation computers, the major focus was that has been reducing size and build and improving efficiency. This resulted in a smaller yet faster computer. Because the first generation computer was big in size, but they are not efficient. Their work tasks take a lot of time. How the size is reduced, their efficiency is increased. The only drawback was that it don't have the ability to think. They have lack of thinking ability. But in the fifth generation, that ability is added. The supercomputers have high storage capacities, high speeds, and capability to work highly sophisticated operations also. Now these have ability to think like. In the fifth generation means artificial intelligence. It involves artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is basically the branch of science that aims to create computers that can think, behave and react like humans. In the fifth generation, computers are expected to overcome the lack of thinking power in the earlier generations. So it's enough for today. In the next videos, we will discuss more about these things, inshallah. Till take care. Allah Hafiz.